Hey, welcome back, everyone. Hope you all had a fantastic week. Before we get into the action here, just want to take a second to thank each and every one of you who watch the videos, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. We've officially hit 500 subs, which is absolutely mind blowing. Can't believe we've done that, and certainly wouldn't have without each and every one of you. So, sincerely, thank you. But yeah, enough of that. Obviously, we're here for something else. So, let's get on into it. We've got round two of the Horton's Modded tournament. We're going up against the Charleston Milk, who we've had featured on the channel here before in a 3 versus 3 game. Very good opponent, so we'll absolutely need to be on our A game on this one. Unfortunately, we got a very bad coin flip, and we lucked out with the Soviets. The Charleston did choose the Germans, so we will be rolling with very few smokes if we even chose a doctrine that has them. We might be able to use mortars, maybe some vehicles potentially, depending on what we got. But yeah, none of our squads will have, for the most part, smokes, which is historical for early war Soviets. With the Charleston choosing the nation of his choice, we did get to choose map, so we ended up choosing Riverbank here, which I find to be an okay map. Looks like the spawns and cap points haven't changed from Hortons to vanilla, or from vanilla to Hortons, I guess I should say. So not terrible. I was initially going to rush out the recon squad over to the south point, which is a typical strategy of mine, but with the changes to Hortons and the fact it's early war, I actually decided to push it more to the center and the B point here. And my plan is to go heavy on these 2 points. And we're rushing out 2 squads, 1 full SVT squad as well, which is pretty crazy. And then we'll, as we're seeing, just push out a couple singles onto his point just to kind of harass. So main goal is to hold this area. I don't want to lose the defensive positions here, because I feel like it's harder for the Axis to attack it than obviously the Allied side, because they're pushing through kind of the wooded riverbank area, more or less. And then we're just kind of pushing through, defended terrain and trenches. So hopefully we've got a, a decent position, and we'll do something here to counteract the heavy smoke barrages. I'm very jealous. Very jealous. It feels very weird not having the capability to use smokes. But we're going to rush out, as we saw, 1 recon onto the flank, and we're going to try to get that guy all the way out to the spawn. This is a good map if you're not cognizant of the early game. You can really actually kind of get a flanker out there early to get vision. Obviously no Panzer Shreks, so we won't see any of that this game, but maybe we can do something later. But yeah, we get a nice push here with our 3 to 4 singles. I think we called 4 in initially, so we're going to get these guys all into the point, and we are already capping. So it was a 2 to 1 cap. Now we are about to push a 3 cap, but he is pushing us hard in the middle. We do have another squad coming up, though, so hopefully we'll be able to reinforce in time. And I want to make sure I get this guy all the way out, just in case he does push somebody out that way, more or less. But we did go with the offensive doctrine. I was playing around, obviously, with some of these doctrines here and there. I think the offensive doctrine is probably the best. I don't play early war that often, especially for Soviets, so I don't know if there is a better one or not. No, the irregular with the SMK is pretty good, from having to go against the East with that one. But obviously with the offensive, we are ultimately going to be rushing into the KV2. So I'm hoping that big bad boy can do some work. My only concern is whatever he ended up taking. Sure, if he went offensive, we'll probably have to deal with a flak wagon. So we shall see. Sure, the flak wagon probably outranges us, so that's my only big concern at this point. But we did lose the couple singles over on the south point. Totally fine. It was just more or less a delaying game there. Just to put some pressure early, divert a full squad of his from middle over to that point. We did get in here and we did reinforce it, although we are now getting pushed out. He's utilizing the smokes and nice grenade play from him on his end here. And for now, we have options. I'm trying to see if there's anything coming up. Always recommend periodically trying to look into the fog of war just to see if you can hear any vehicles. Usually around like a 3.5 minute to 5 minute mark is a good time for a vehicle to come out. Maybe like a typical time. So usually around this time frame, I'm starting to check. But we do call in a Dishka of our own, and with the 5 minute mark, we are gonna wait a little if we can. So we either have a T-26 or I believe that's a T-40 in the doctrine that I'll probably go. But he is making a push onto our point, and he is capping middle, so I want to, at the very least, try to prevent him from capping. And I don't really hear anything, so it's actually a T-30. So I'm going to call in the T-30 autocannon to try to help out with some of the infantry that we've got here. We got to start depleting these numbers, especially towards our home point as he is starting to encroach and we're dropping like flies on this point. And we are going to bring a Cav Sapper squad over onto the left. And we'll just make sure that recon actually has vision. We're nearly there. Spawn should be in that southwest corner, and we do see something coming on the mini-map. It looks like a Panzer II, so the number of infantry's got out on the field, it is likely a DP buy. So I'm already thinking it is the offensive doctrine. There's a chance it's an MP. I don't know off the top of my head, or even in game, what Panzer II variant base game gets versus Horten's games, because obviously Horten's team does that quite a few. But I know there is a special Panzer II in that doctrine, obviously. Excuse me. But I'm anticipating the Panzer II to come over to try to counter the T-30. I think the Panzer II's probably got the leg up on the T-30. So I'm going to try to bring it back a little bit. Also bring back the Dishka to try to get a better angle. We're getting absolutely mowed down in the center point, which is really unfortunate. If I had smokes, I'd be smoking out, obviously. I don't know how many times we're going to say that this game. But we are able to kind of sneak up some guys and get a decent position and get some grenades off to try to take the decap here. T-30 rotated around. It's getting some nice shots. Both sides got to have a nice position in the middle to kind of hide guys, especially like in the riverbank there. So it's kind of beneficial for us to kind of push this trench area that we're in right now, just to keep up the pressure. And I did call in a couple AT guys, but they're AT rifle grenades, I believe. Yeah, they're rifle grenades, so no AT rifles, which is super unfortunate. So he's pushed up pretty far. He's going for the T-30 here. He does cruise shock us, but not the driver, so I am able to kind of drive a little further down out of his line of sight. We're trying to take him out with both of the AT guys, but to no luck considering it's a rifle grenade, not an AT rifle. I guess Soviets just didn't have them in early war. Maybe it was more of a mid-war necessity or maybe creation for their squads. If you know, let me know in the comments. I'm very curious about that. I'm not as familiar with early war Soviets as I am, obviously, like early war Brits or Germans or Americans. So truly, like, armor-wise, I've got no idea what works, what doesn't work, what's a good counter, what isn't a good counter. So we're just gonna figure it out as we go. Really did not get a good draw with the coin flip beforehand. I would have preferred to have played the Germans, as I am obviously a little more comfortable with them. But, you know, you gotta work with the hand you get. Panzer 2 is still going for the T-30, so we are going to bring up the BT-7. I know the BT will pen the Panzer 2 at the very least. But obviously light tank on light tank action. He brings out a Panzer 3. I don't know how effective the BT is going to be. So it might be a short-lived MP buy. Try to do some damage here, but we're just going to peg the tree first for a little bit. And I'm going to try to bait with the T-30. I do see a Panzerjäger coming out, so that's going to be my counter here, which is unfortunate. So I do have a limited time to kind of go for this thing before that thing gets up here. Looks like he's taking a weird route, though, pushing it over towards the church, which I'm kind of okay with. We do get first shot off, second shot off. Looks like we do hull break it. Panzer 2 is down. We're going to move the BT kind of over that way. And then we'll bring him back. I was initially going to try to finish off the Panzer 2, but I actually decided to hold off in the off chance we can maybe get up there and capture it. We're still holding 2 points, though, but we do have a push coming here, which is very nerve-wracking because I have one rifleman to kind of stop this, which is smart. Very good play. He doesn't have any pressure there, so he's advancing out. And this is immediately going to force me to panic, move over the T-30, move over the Dishka, and get a couple singles out. Because the last thing I want is for him to have vision or a sneak guy with an AT grenade behind my lines. So we got to deal with that. I do not want to give up my flank, because we can see how beneficial getting a guy out there early obviously is, considering we've seen every tank buy he's purchased from pretty much the 5-minute mark, at least so far. But it's very unlikely he pushes like anyone towards our recon. It's in such a weird position for him to click in a way. Like anything he buys, he's gonna more so push either towards the trenches on that right side or towards the middle or his point. So we're in a very good place in terms of that guy probably making it long term. But we are going to move some guys around a little bit. Got to micro these guys a little bit here because we are unfortunately just kind of running into some guys that are laying down. The Panzerjäger has moved up, and it is firing HE at the moment. And I misclick here, unfortunately. I'm calling a medic. A medic isn't a normal buy for me, so it's a misclick. I'm just going to make him cover an area. He'll die at some point. That's what it is. I was originally trying to... I believe we get a sniper, actually, at this point. And I'm actually going to put the BT on hold fire, because I don't want it to shoot on its own. And we're going to try to get, like, a side shot here if we can. Fortunately, it looks like we got stuck. Yeah, we get stuck on the building. We couldn't go through it. Or the ruins, I guess, the ruined wall. So now I got to get him out of there. I have no idea if he can see me. I assume he can. But he's still firing HE, it looks like. I'm going to move up the T-30 a little bit to where he can't kind of get hit, but he can still kind of provide pressure. Move over the BT and move these guys up to try to counter anyone right on that other side. I'm going to try again with the BT. We do get in range. We miss our first shot. He does see us. He takes a shot. He backs up just out of range. He bounces. Yeah, we're just going to back off. It's a risky engagement now, considering he can see us. I'm going to call it another rifle AT grenade. Grenadiers. team. And we're going to try to move these boys back into the point here. But again, just without smokes, it's so difficult for my guys to just kind of stay alive. And for us to even get in there. We just take so much damage as we push. Oh, some more SVT boys. They are border militia, though, so they're going to die quick. For a bunch of SVTs is definitely a cool addition here. Cool squad. And we are at tier 2. So we're at a pretty good place. 623 to 310. We've got a couple different options, including the P35 1938, which I do believe is pretty good for early war. I know Meow. I believe Meow loves the T35. So he can correct me if I'm wrong. See a Panzer III coming out, so medium. I don't know if the BT can pen it, so that's a bit risky, like I was saying earlier. So we'll have to see. And we're going to pull in a Commissar along with a recon squad. Recon's going to go out to the left because we have lost all of our guys with vision over that way. Pulling in a paratrooper squad to the center. And our first Commissar we're actually just going to use for vision here. Panzerjäger's moving up, and it's actually going for the dish gun. Does take it out, so that is unfortunate. Got the boys coming in, and they are making a hard push. Their cap weight is very beneficial, though, as we do start the decap in our favor. We are utilizing the flamethrower they come with. It's kind of burning some of these guys out. I want to get rid of some of this cover if I can as well, although the cart unfortunately blocks some that I want to get onto that wood pile. It's got the Panzer III over on the northwest flank, along with a bunch of guys, so I am going to bring back the T-30 more onto this side. And I'm just going to make sure these recon guys are kind of set up a little bit better. Well, they are getting mowed down by a MG34 at the church. And with the Panzerjäger focused on the infantry, I'm going to go for it. He's got to switch to HE, so we at the very least have 1 or 2 shots. Switch off that HE before he can focus. We do miss the first shot. Hits a building. Second shot does hit, though. Take out the commander. Hit again. Hit the trowel. He bounces. We hit, and we do take it out, which is fantastic. And the Panzer III did not move in that engagement, so I'm assuming he was direct controlling. And it is now coming for us, so we're going to get the hell out of dodge. And the Dishka is actually not fully down, so we're going to get 2 guys to jump on that, reman it. We do have to get the boys reestablished on the B point, as we are getting pretty depleted on this side, unfortunately. And there's not a lot of good cover here. But if we can get potentially a couple guys out into those trenches, we might be okay. Take some foxholes as well. And we do need to get an ammo crate out as well. It was originally just going to be for the T30 to get HE, but it turns out the Dishka is also out of ammo. So we'll use that for the Dishka as well. Got to keep the boys hungry and fed here with ammo. Yeah, it's not even really possible for us to dig foxholes in the center either. Because if we do, the guys are just going to stand up and they're just going to get absolutely shredded. We were able to get a couple off the start, but just slightly out of the point, which is really unfortunate. And he's just smoking out and digging them at the same time, which is phenomenal play by him. But ammo is up. We're going to move the officer over slightly to get a better vision into the center. Going to get the guys off of the ammo crate. There's no reason to keep them on there. I'm not going to move the ammo from there. This is just going to be my respawn point. Or my replenish point, I guess I should say more so. And we're going to try to finish off this Panzerjäger. I do not want him repairing it and giving him another vehicle that can take out any tanks of my own. So we're going to try to go for it, but we got to get a little bit further out to the side, it looks like, as we are just hitting the wood pile. And we also see a sniper in the backfield, which is really unfortunate. Possibly another reason why our guys are just getting absolutely decimated in the center. A couple more shots into the Panzerjäger. Panzer 3 is coming over. Looks like I've got a little bit of range on him, thankfully, before he gets over here. And we do set it on fire. So we're going to immediately try to get out of here. Again, I'm still scared of that engagement. And he is just slowly creeping up in terms of score, considering we haven't really been able to put a lot of pressure in center. And Panzer 3 is coming up for an engagement now. So I go forward with the T30 to try to get behind the building if I can, while direct controlling the BT. We are behind the building, so now I'm going to try to get him out of there. And I'm going to let the BT just kind of do its thing. Neither of us can really pen through, and I do move up to try to take the engagement. We do bounce for a shot. He does track us. We do get a nice hit going through the turret. We do get 2. And you'll see while this tank engagement is going on, as we do get engined and lose ultimately the BT. I did move up the Dishka onto the right flank. Because I know the Panzer 3 is now engaged, that we have an opportunity there. And we're going to go with the T-35, get the big boy up. I'm hoping it'll be able to take out the Panzer 3. I truly have no idea. And unfortunately, the Panzer 3 also takes out the T-30. So we do lose our first DP buy. We still can't decap, as now the Panzer 3 is also laying into us. But thankfully we do save 2 of the crew from the T-30. And now I'm trying to figure out what I need, and it's just an infantry slog here. So we're going to go with the field howitzer with an ammo truck to hopefully do some damage to the infantry numbers. And we're going to rotate out 2 of the crew from the T-35 with the T-30's infantry. T-30's crew, not infantry. So we're already going to go up to that one on it. And with this new rifle squad, I actually, well, we got one going in the middle, but the second one, I actually decide to go to the left. We're going to make another push on that side. It's been quiet over there. He pushed up quite a few guys on us, so I'm actually thinking his numbers are depleted slightly. And we're going to focus the officer on the sniper. Panzer 3 does take out the Dishka. But hopefully with our new squad going that way, we might actually be able to make a push and recap the south point and try to flip this on its head. Force him to go there, and then we go back in the middle. And we are going to bring out a sniper of our own to hopefully either counter snipe or start doing some work on his infantry numbers as well. Field howitzer has to take out some trees first, as we can see, before it decides that, you know, we can actually put some shells downrange. But it is starting to. And he does have a pretty nice infantry push coming up on the B point here. So we switch over to a shrapnel canister round. We don't do anything with it, unfortunately. I was hoping maybe it would take out some of the guys. And we're going to spend a minute over here making a concentrated push just to make sure we can get in here and do something with these guys. Because we need to make a push, considering he is now leading. And we do get in. Hail grenades goes off. We do immediately start decapping. We take a couple losses as we get in here, but we are going to decap it and hopefully be able to hold this for the time being. And we do push it to a 1-1 game, and we do stop the bleed at least. I don't know if you guys just saw that, but there is a lieutenant in the point right there, so that's why his cap weight hasn't really gone down. I figure the field officer should be able to take him out, but we're just overshooting, and there's no, like, shrapnel range for him. Now we're undershooting. That log is blocking everything. That one looked like it should have hit, but I don't know. He must have gotten his guy out of there, so I'm trying to spot now. I don't see him anymore, so I'm still looking around. He still has cap weight, so I mean, he's in... Nah, he... Probably not in the point. I just have 3 guys in it. 4 guys in the point. So, infantry numbers are getting devastated in the center. And there is a 2-centimeter truck now. Super unfortunate. So we're gonna have this for a second, likely. I'm sure there's infantry following this thing up. Then Panzer 3 does decide to take the engagement. We're gonna return it. He gets a nice barrel broken on the main gun. Do have the secondary of 45, but I don't know if the 45 would pen. And we are just going to try to get out of range either way. Still trying to see if we can find the officer in center to focus on him with the field howitzer. The howitzer is doing some decent work, but our numbers are just so minimal in the center that they're able to kind of just rush up on us. And they are also making a concentrated push onto this flank as well. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to hold that flag long, and the Charleston will be able to take it back. It's really unfortunate. Well, we'll try to get 2 more squads out to the center. T-35 is back up in action, so we're also going to push him. They are decapping left. But we are holding the 1-0 advantage, but it's about to be 1-1. Let's say retake middle. We do miss first shot on the Panzer 3. Which is unfortunate. We're rushing it because I'm very nervous of that engagement. And now the 2 centimeters also actually firing into the center, which is really terrible. We're just out of range of the field howitzer, so we probably want to move that guy up. Try to counter that. We're bouncing with the main gun. We got to focus just slightly on these guys, and unfortunately, we do lose 2 in crew shock as he does pen us. And bounce again. Pens us yet again, losing another couple. Thank God this thing's got like 10 crew, 11 crew or whatever. So we can kind of tank the losses. We are retaking center finally. Been a little bit since we've had any control here, and we do it right at the start of tier 3, and we're just gonna get the big bad boy up immediately. So KB2 is out. That will be it for us with the DP buys. So we will see what we have to work with here. We did move the field howitzer up slightly, and we're gonna take some shots over at the 2 centimeter, kind of take that thing out, and you get a nice one there. So hopefully it'll finish it off. We've got to move the sniper because it's only gotten 2 kills and not really doing much. And it does go down the 2 centimeter. He's pulling up a 221, which actually makes me very nervous. He could rush that thing up to try to take out the field howitzer. Just rushing it straight through my lines, considering the T-35 is there, and we have the KB2 now. But, you know, it wouldn't be out of the realm of ordinary for that thing to rush up and take me out. I was going to put a shot down range there, but I actually decided to hold off to try to go for the Panzer III. I don't want to reveal my hand. Sometimes it's better not to get overzealous and just fire. I'm sure if he's doing the same thing I did early on and looking in the fog of war, he probably hears me. Might even see me at this point. I was going to move it up, but the flamer actually starts going for the 221 because it pulled into the center. So a little bit more of a pressing target is just dealing with this guy. But we do get the second guy that was going to rush into it. I don't think we set the engine on fire, but decrewing that was big. And I'm going to fire my first shot. Looked like I had a clean one, but fortunately we hit the building and I believe take out a couple of our guys, or at least damage them. So hand is revealed for naught. So that's great. We've lost pretty much everyone on the left again, so I'm going to get a couple guys out there just to cover the trenches, considering we've now got the big toys out on the field. And he actually went with a Sturmpanzer. So we faced the Sturmpanzer first, at least. He probably still has enough DP, because I haven't seen anything else other than the Panzer II, and I think that Panzer III. So he's probably still got enough DP for the 8.8 flak wagon. But we'll see what happens. We're pushing 800 already, which is great. We were able to get a nice advantage there. Nice little lead. But he has neutralized us in the center. The sniper still isn't doing anything. Now we're gonna go with the KV. Doing a nice shot off on that thing. And we're immediately gonna push up the T-35 to continue the advantage. It is still up though, and we're gonna have to be very micro intensive with this KV, as I do have it on hold fire. So second shot, we're gonna put down range. We just overshoot it. T-35 is engaging, but I'm gonna get it more on a flank angle to hopefully take it out a little closer. We gotta get more guys up here. And there's a push on my left, so I'm very nervous now about the field howitzer. Because we only have a couple guys out this way. 4 guys, 5 guys. We gotta deviate a little bit onto that side. And I'm so nervous I am gonna call in a second Dishka truck to try to deal with this as well, just in the off chance that I lose most of my infantry. When we pulled back the field howitzer there, because I did not want to lose it. KV's third shot at the Panzer III does take it out, so it is hull broken. Phenomenal. And I'm going to try to attack around the tree in the point just to get vision under the smoke. Because it will act as a pseudo lamp post, we can say. Dushka is rolling up, so that should help out there. The boys are pulling in as well, the new squad. He still obviously has cap weight. We don't really have many in. And that stern pans of the Bison is actually going to be a real pain. Because it's just going to destroy any of our infantry. So I got to get this field howitzer back up, but I'm actually trying to move positions and get it on the flank. Or at least a different angle. We do see a Panzer IV rolling up short barrel. We will have to deal with that shortly. Shouldn't be too much of a concern at the very least. KV's shooting over the infantry, which is super unfortunate. We do have plenty of shells, thankfully. So I'm not really worried about ammo, but just the reload time. Although it does, it's a pretty quick reload. I'm surprised by the size of these 152 shells, how quickly it is. It does reload here, but we're gonna put a shell maybe into the stern panzer, but it is a little bit far, so we do just fire randomly. I've taken out a couple gross Deutschland in the point. I think we bounced that actually off of the 221. We do lose the second Dishka to the Panzer IV over on the left, out of frame. We're getting nothing with the KV2 shots, which is kind of crazy. Trying to move the officer over to a better position to try to spot the Sturmpanzer 1. It's 2 actually, I believe. Man, we're going to go at him again with the KV. We should outrange him. In the rough location of where he was. A little bit of lag, and we do hit the 221 yet again. Gonna get another squad that we just called in back into the middle, and we are pushing up with the T-35 as well. We could very easily lose this thing, which would be slightly detrimental. But I'm hoping he's gonna push me with the Bison if I keep it in a decent location behind terrain, and then I can get him with a KV. We do see him. KV does hit him, so I believe that's probably crew stunned. It is still up somehow. T-35 is not engaging. I'm gonna direct control it. And he has actually pulled the score back in, and we are now losing once more. KV2 does some decent damage yet again, but still alive. I believe we shot past it. Panzer IV is moving up. Looks like the gun might actually be down on the Bison, so that's great. So we'll switch targets over to the Panzer IV. We do instantly hull crush it. So it is decrewed. Bison is actually decrewed as well, so I assume he's repairing something on it. And I do see where the lieutenant is hiding, so now I'm trying to fight through the little bit of latency we're getting to get him. I know rough locations. We're going to try with the KV. We overshoot, of course. I believe the Panzer IV probably took out the T-35 turret, so we are going to repair it real quick. There's a bunch of guys behind these, like, chicken coops and pens, so I got to try to deal with them first before I can make a push for this lieutenant. I think I can make it with taking out that guy, so I'm going to try to spray. I don't know where he is exactly. You can't see him. nearly get him, but we go down, which is so unfortunate. Really need to get this guy out of here. And thankfully, the KV finally getting some much needed infantry damage there. It does take him out. So, just like that, we do flip the cap, but plenty of infantry nearby. That just immediately reflips it in his favor. It is a very big uphill battle for us. I'm going to try to finish off the Bison. We unfortunately hit the carcass of the Panzer. Or the Panzerjäger, I mean. And he has recruited, and he's trying to get the hell out of Dodge now. So we're going to try to go in with the T-35. But I have to rush a shot because he's pulling down the berm, and we do miss there. And he is now out of line of sight. One more shot. Goes short. No dice. So. Does live for the moment. But we need to make a move, so we are going to call it a BT-7 early, which is the unique MP tank buy for this doctrine in Horten's. We're going to repair the Dishka, and with that BT, we're going to try to get around on the flank and just suicide it into the Bison. And we'll see. We need to take that thing out because it's just doing so much damage to our infantry. Kind of afraid to look at the KD ratio right now. I really don't want to. So I'm sure it's not good. But it is just a cap decap game in the center. With neither of us really able to fully hold it on, although he is holding a little bit better than I am. Especially because of the smokes. Maybe gets a couple T-35s engaging. This officer is being really odd with his movement. I'm not telling him to move everywhere that he's going, but he seems to kind of be moving on his own. Which is weird, because he's not on the AI free will move order. But it's time! I'm going to switch immediately over to the AP, because it did switch, the AI switched over to HE. He's sitting in the gully. Our first shot, I mean, I don't know where that thing went. Looked like we had a nice angle, but I guess we shot in the air. We do a hit, crew stun. Do some more damage on that one. Maybe engine. Another hit. Focus for a second on the ammo truck. That's valuable as well. We do hull break it. Focus on the ammo truck here. Put a shot into its engine, so it's not going anywhere now. And he does have a Panzer IV that he called in. Looks like short barrel. And we're just going to back this puppy up and self-destruct. It did its job. Its job was to just take this thing out, and that self-destruction, that explosion, should hopefully finish it off. If it doesn't, I'm going to be so sad. I'll be so sad if it doesn't. But we did call in a second officer a little while ago, too, and we're going to get him into the point now to try to take this cap game. And we do thankfully set it on fire. Oh, so the Bison is down, finally. Big plays from us to actually pull it back and take the lead there, slightly. We'll see if we can hold it. And we speak too soon. That will be rough. So we have limited time to kind of maintain this area. I'm immediately going to pull the T-35 back. My initial thought was to pull it to the side because I was thinking he was going to go more to middle. But obviously, based on our recon, we can see he's going that way. I'm going to pull the KV back. Get the Dishka truck re-upped, but we've got guys here that we do have to kind of deal with. And considering this thing's coming over, I'm immediately going to rush some of these cavalry guys up. Maybe we can get a guy behind it into the woods with an AT grenade. Might be our only chance. That thing's absolutely going to outrange us. He's got a couple guys that we have to take out first, though, which is really unfortunate. And this thing is going straight off the map, so I'm going to try to get him back now, and I'm very fearful we're going to lose this thing. I'm sure he's got vision. Davy's moving where I want it, but I'm going to put a shot here and try to do some damage on these guys. Looks like there might be one or two more. We'll stop these border militia SVTs and just deal with them real quick. That one guy. 76 mil will take it out for us anyway. And it looks like we'll be able to get one guy out to the flank. Maybe we can get this other guy into the trench. Both guys do have 2 AT grenades, which is great. So if he tries to push us this way, we might be able to do something. Maybe get a little sneaky. Officer is still holding the middle, although I'm trying to see if there's a position I can kind of hide in. There really isn't. There aren't any foxholes in there. What we did have, the bison did take out. And he's got a flamer that's just kind of going to town. Can't really get the angle on the guys low. But it's still doing work. He does fall eventually, though. And we have to be really careful with this officer. Thankfully in Horten's you do get 3. So I'm not too concerned, but I want to try to keep the cap weight up. He's got a massive push coming towards this point. I'm going to try to move some stuff around to kind of block it. Not really much. Our MP is trickling in at this point of the game. I'm going to move the field howitzer back a little bit and the T-35 up. And while I'm doing that, they are pushing, and our officer is getting lit up by nades. And unfortunately, he does go down, so we do lose him. Took a little bit of a lead, but that did also just bleed us a little bit there, because losing that officer hurts. We overshoot with the KV. And I do see it, but he's crawling. I think maybe if we were running up, we might have had a chance. And the first thing he pulls out is a satchel, so I'm praying he's got something else. He does have a regular AT grenade, but that pause, I think, gives him just enough time to kind of get out of range. And now we're just going to try to chase him down, and I'm actually going to get a little crazy with the T-35 and try to engage him. At least for now, because if he took a better angle towards the left instead of going into those trees, I bet I could have maybe hit him from the side. Yeah, we tried. We did get gunned down. Well, nearly had him. And now I'm very concerned because I've lost line of sight. I've got no infantry on the point. I've got no infantry anywhere, actually. I have no MP to buy anything. We're down to a handful of guys, a sniper, an officer, and a couple Vics. Oh my god, the KD. 198 to 292. Jeez. T-35 is running with its tail between its legs on the back of the map. And he is engaging us. So at this point, it's do or die. I got to take this thing out to have any chance. I am very close to calling it. It's this engagement. If we lose this engagement, it's GG. You know, this is it. Thankfully, his first shot goes into the 221, and I think it loses inertia. Our first shot does take him out, which is so lucky that we hit on that one of any shot. We get just enough MP back from everything to get a recon squad up, but we are trickling in. And we'll now get the field howitzer back up into play. But man, this is kind of do or die. This point, it's use the KV and the T-35 and the field howitzer to take out as much infantry as we can. I would assume he's in almost the same position as I am in terms of his MP, but he didn't lose as many as I did. I'm going to try to spot in the middle with the officer. There's Panzer 4B is still up. Forget about that other one. We're going to try to engage that immediately before we lose the T-35. We hit a tree, I believe. We lose one of the gunners. We are engaging there. Sniper's not doing much. Sniper hasn't really done much this game for us. 10 kills is okay, but really bad positioning on our end with a sniper. Next shot with KV does immediately take out the 4B, so that's perfect. So he's pretty much out of armor now. He does have a Panzer III, a Panzer II, and another Panzer IV that he can repair at the very least, but not much is going to be able to take out the KV and the T-35 combo. Because I am using them in tandem, even though they are separated at this point. The T-35 is more of my, obviously, burn Vic, so I'd rather lose that than the KV, and the KV is what's going for the kills. He's hiding his infantry in the smokes. Bishku could be in a better position to kind of do some work here. T-35, believe it or not, is actually out of fuel. So it will not be moving unless I bring up a fuel truck, which I do not have the MP for, obviously. So that's as much contribution as it will be having from that position. What I do like about Horten's is the adjustment to the fuel ratios and fuel in general. How it's a lot easier to run out of fuel, and it actually plays a pretty significant role in the game, as we have 2.5 liters. 2 liters, and we're backing up 1 liter. 0.2 liters now. We're stuck. And I don't know, I go push this officer into the point to, you know, flip the cap, obviously, because he's got something in there. He absolutely does. He must. I see the sniper. And we're going to try to focus on the sniper with the T-35. But this guy keeps standing up, man. This AI. He's on do not move. I don't know if something bugged out with him. Horton, I know you do check the videos. I don't know if you'll watch this full one, but let me know if you've encountered this before, if there's you know, something that I'm doing with this guy to make him just move all willy-nilly like this. Because the man's got a suicide wish at this point. I just want him to lay down. I'm even checking everything to make sure he's not moving. I go off of him and immediately stands up and moves forward. Jesus. Well, the KV's finishing off a lot of the minor terrain. We're not seeing anything else come up. Man, this guy. Lay down, dude. Flip it to the AI free move. Flip it off. See if that does anything. Death wish on this guy. And now he's laying down at least. Big shell into those guys running. There must still be an officer in the point, considering we're only +5 cap with ours in there. So he's got something hiding. But we'll push him with this second recon squad, considering that's all we can afford at this point of the game. Shell down range there. It's like a couple gross Deutschlands, maybe. Couple guys on the other flank. I do see another sniper. So he must have had like one, maybe 2, 3 snipers out on the field at one point. Pretty crazy. So we do put a round into them. We've got the lead. We're going to tick up. There's nothing I think he can do at this point. So I think it is safe to say this should be a well-fought, hard-earned victory on our end. Very tough battle. Crazy action. Very lucky in some aspects, too. And he does call GG. So very well played, LaCharleston. Fantastic game. We will move on to round 2 as we see the KD here. And round 2 will be mid-war, so more fun. 1 round of mid-war, so hopefully we do win it and can make it on to the next round, which will be late war. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, as always. Stay tuned for more next week.